Hey, BCs, what's going on? Welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV. We have a very special episode for you this evening, so you're definitely going to want to join the conversation. We are in Season 4, Episode 3. I don't know the name. I'm going to make it up. Oh, down for the count. JK.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I should get an A for effort. At least I tried, you know. Oh. Give me the shoulder shimmy. There we go. What? What's an actor? No. Austin Basis is a dancer now. Please.
I know, right?
Oh, get it. All right, BCs, what's going on? As promised, we have an extra special episode, and of course, I don't even need to introduce this guy. I mean, we can. But first, I'm going to invite you to be a co-host with us. All you have to do is join the hashtag ABTVBATB. Join in. If you have any questions, we can answer those for you. And topics. I'm Alikona Bradford. Please follow me at BoysandBeauty01, and I will toss it on over to Janeisha since she's a lady.
Hey guys, that's me. Yeah. Janeisha John here. Of course, you guys can follow me on all social media at Janeisha_Miss VI. What about this guy?
Oh, I'm Austin Basis. I play JT Forbes on Beauty and the Beast. And you can follow me at Austin Basis at all social media except Snapchat.
We're trying to get him on Snapchat.
Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Can I just say I almost nailed the opening, and then I failed at the very end.
That's all right.
You know why?
Because the hashtag was different.
Yes! You guys.
Thanks, Beasties.
I know. I'm gonna blame somebody else. I'm a little confused. Cage match, Beastie. I'm down for the count. I don't know. Anyways, but it was a great episode, regardless.
New hashtag.
Okay.
JT get a, not JT, Austin get a Snapchat. Okay.
Austin's hair
There we go.
That works too.
is receding. Start a Twitter account. Austin's hair is receding.
Well, apparently there's a new account for Nina Lisandrello's hair.
Yeah.
You started it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's named at Nina Lisandrello's hair. Season 4 hair. Nina Lisandrello's Season 4 hair. That's what I thought it should be called. I think it's just Nina Lisandrello's hair in general, because she will be on other things and her hair will still be
Looks fabulous.
spectacular. Fabulous! Yeah. All au natural.
There we go. Actually, it's a fun story. I mean, our girls might care, but the whole hair story about Nina, how did the curliness come about? Because everyone's
Well, I think, every actor or actress kind of thinks about what the difference in each season's going to be, and, since it was Season 4 and it, seemed like maybe the last one, I think Nina was like, I just want to wear my hair the way I want to wear my hair, the way it looks best, and let the curls fly. I know. It was born, as the day it was born.
There you go.
And she let him fly, and hasn't looked back.
Hasn't
looked back since.
I'm sure JT enjoys it. Running his fingers through her hair. Well, he's about to not. Yeah.
He's making mistakes.
Yes, he is. Let's talk about that a little bit, shall we?
I got to give him a boyfriend / significant other tutorial, because he's doing the TV like
Right.
But he tried.
No, but I was gonna say, do you think though that he had a fair opportunity, or was she really? Because I felt like there were times, like when they were in the bar, she really was scooting away, and it's like, do you really shout like something like that to somebody as they're walking away?
Well, what I realized watching it again tonight, because I've seen it, like you see it in ADR, and like when you do, like they give us the access to the edits, the final cut, and so we, like when I was watching that scene, I'm like, he just said, we need to find the time that we can talk, instead of just saying it right there.
Yeah.
So he's definitely procrastinating. Obviously, he was thrown off. He wasn't prepared to do it just then, and he saw that she was kind of gearing up and going and, walking out the door, and he knew that it would be a conversation. He didn't want to, like, drop a bomb and say, all right, have fun at work, dear.
Right, of course.
But with Tess, you
turn
kind
down
of...
tenure. Bye.
with Tess,
Enjoy.
you kind of have to drop a bomb on Tess. It's like, listen, this is what it is, because she's always, something's always up. So
someone tweeted, you have to talk faster. And I think I think JT said that to Gabe in season 1 or 2, where it's like, you got to talk faster, man. Like, because when Vincent blurs out at some point, it's like, dude, you got to talk faster. Like,
Gotta talk faster.
that's, JT has to talk faster.
But I'm really trying to stand up for him. Hold on, I'm trying to stand up for him because that is a really tough conversation
Oh, totally.
to have.
Yes. No, I agree. But there was an opportunity. It's just, you don't want to have that conversation when even 5 minutes away from someone leaving for their day at work and seemingly in an excited, positive mood, and then she brings up the tenure thing, and you're like, oh, maybe I could get away with this one. Maybe meet up at the bar later, and then she still has to leave.
So she can't yell at you.
Yes, of course. That's the or hurt me.
Right.
She has a tendency to punch my arm.
Yeah.
For real, those things aren't that's not stage combat.
Oh, that's the real deal.
It's like, I can show you the black and blues, but it's 7 months ago, so.
That's funny. Oh, so okay. Well, since we're already talking about, we'll wrap into JT a little bit more, and then we can get to Vincent and Kat. But obviously, towards the end of the episode, we have that moment where JT's been procrastinating, and I did notice for the last few episodes, he's constantly working on that same box
Forever.
Yeah. But do you guys really think
his computers were all packed up? Like, that was the
last one.
He, in true dramatic fashion, he took her cue partly because he, had. It came out, and it's like, okay, so I have to make up some ground with actually packing and getting ready to move. Mm-hmm. Packed up all his computers, which are not easy to kind of get rid of and do, and just as everything's packed and ready to go in the moving van.
Right.
In JT's defense,
thank you.
He has been Team JT. No, he has been working continuously on these cases.
Absolutely.
So to pack up all of your stuff,
tough.
that's a process to then take everything apart to then try and get back into these cases. It's like a lot.
I mean, I honestly feel like Tess expects a lot, and I feel like even in the first couple episodes, I felt like she's in her own little world that's way separate from everybody else's, and not that it's selfish, but in some senses selfish, because she's so busy trying to get back to her normal life and have her life, and I get that, you want that, but at the same time, all these other things are going on, so it's like, you gotta find a balance of being reasonable about what you want, too, because I feel like she's being a little sensitive, which, okay, that's the thing is, she's this big, tough girl, but at the end of the day, we're girls.
She's a girl.
Yeah, and so you have feelings, and sometimes you do take things a little bit personally, so you do read into things like, well, he hasn't even packed yet. I mean, I will say, though, it was
He has kind of packed. Yeah. It's just he hasn't moved out yet.
At her pace.
Right.
And they're finding a place, so,
right.
all that stuff.
I just feel like the comment was a little left field for her to say, well, I know what I want in life, and you don't, so therefore... I get that in a stability thing, but you don't want to be with
It's
me?
just kind of like, we're not going to press this while you're in this, no man's land. Let's just take a pause, and we don't know what it means yet. That's basically it. So,
We don't know what it means. Actually, one of our followers, one of our co-hosts tonight was asking, I think it's Billie Jean, was asking, do we think it's a breakup, or it's just kind of like a, we got to sort it out, or whatever.
I think it's Tess
Spoilers.
putting her
I can't give any
feelers out.
spoilers.
Maybe to see what the reaction is. Because, sometimes you do that too, as a girl. Sometimes you want someone to chase after you. Don't lie.
Of course.
Really
fight.
quick.
You gotta fight for your girl. Yeah.
Really quick, though. Can we actually pull up the chat room, please, to our engineer? Yeah, so we can see what everybody is talking about. But speaking of fight, we did have a girl fight.
Oh, it was a pretty intense fight.
Pretty amazing. And it's interesting, too, because Billie Jean Girl had said, did you think that Catherine was going to go in Vincent's place? My answer is absolutely. And that's only because last week is in next week's episode. And she had her little things on. And I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, but I didn't expect them to originally be like, oh, Vince is going to do this. And I thought, that's not going to work out. Because the second he gets upset,
yes,
glowing eyes.
Yes, right. But he's been good at that, lately.
Okay, so what was going on in the very beginning of the episode? So we had the pretend kidnapping.
I'm just wiping my sweat. Because...
Go for it. Go for it.
It's a little warm and
I know.
Yeah.
All right. That's it.
Yeah, the beginning of the
Makeup.
episode. Sorry, I'm way over here.
Where's my makeup
Hold on,
artist?
come closer.
Yeah, I know, right? There is a fan at some point here. I'm just like, I'll just stay here for the duration.
I don't know what I was talking about.
At the beginning of the episode.
Yes. Okay, beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
So we have that whole fake, you got kidnapped.
That came out of nowhere. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of, I think it's the lead off of if he could juggle his life, his normal, if they could do normal and him still be able to do his vigilante or stuff that he needs to do. Like he could work at the hospital and still be able to do Beast stuff, basically.
Right.
Which is that's the trick. Is like 12-hour shift, but you're on lunch or whatever it is. You have a half hour to do it.
That's intense.
So it's like they're doing these obstacle courses, almost like hide and seek obstacle courses. Sniff JT's pits, and then see if you can track him. In a city of 6 million people or 8 million, whatever New York is. Hey, Ruth.
Hi, Ruth.
I told Alikona you said hi.
Oh, yes, he did. He did. So, Marisha, I think that's what it says. I'm so sorry. The screen's a little bit far away. But going back into JT, she says, you can be lost with what you want to do with your life, but that doesn't mean you're not lost in who you love.
True.
Oh, thank you for making it bigger.
Look.
And I also feel that, when you're in a relationship, those are the moments that, that test the relationship, and you have to be there for each other during those times. I think that even though he's trying to figure out what he wants to do with the rest of his life, but that doesn't mean he doesn't want to move in with you and want to be there with you, Yeah.
So. And it's not like you're a hot tranny mess either. Do you know what I mean? No. Like, you have your life together. You're a smart guy. You'll get it together.
I'm a hot mess with minus the tranny. So...
Who said that?
Where did the tranny come from? Hot tranny mess.
I don't know. Maybe it's a dance community thing. I don't know. Yeah.
That was my first time hearing that.
Yeah.
Hit the floor?
Yeah, one of those. Or no, I think it's a makeup artist thing. You know why? Because sometimes people will, they're just a hot mess.
Yeah.
And you're like, ooh, boo, let me help you.
Okay.
We'll give you a lesson.
Yeah. Let me cut down some of the eyeliner.
Yeah.
Or the... everything.
Yeah.
Let me just change some of that.
Tranny mess.
Let's take a little bit there, a little bit there. Let's wipe off all the makeup and I put on more.
Exactly.
Or less.
So I have a question for you. This is actually something that I was discussing with one of our followers, so I have to bring it up.
Oh, nice.
And we were talking about the romance aspect of this season and how much
lack thereof.
And how it's changed so much. And one of the things I didn't realize is that Sherry Cooper and who's the other one? The other
Jennifer.
They're. I didn't realize they weren't part of the show anymore. So I don't know if that has a lot to do with just the feeling of some of these things.
I don't think they were part of season 3 either.
Right. No, they were not.
So that was all obviously mutual, and it's that type of stuff is like they created the show. They're kind of oversee stuff if they want to enforce that, but it's kind of up to them. And it happens with a lot of shows where the creator kind of moves on and the showrunner comes in, and Brad was there overlapped with them anyway, so so he just he was the one that pitched the seasons and the ideas for the stuff. With regards to the romance, let me refer to my notes. Hold on.
Why does he have notes?
Hold on. Let me see. My dog ate it. I don't have a dog or a cat. But okay, so I think it's, how do I say this politically? It's just I don't think actors or writers on a show necessarily. My uncle called it like maudlin or like over the top, and there is shows, I'm not going to name shows, but that are on cable and are similar type shows with romances and are slightly gratuitous to the creators and the actors on our show. So and some of the scenes, early on that the fans really like, it's tough because, those situations are not, the most, I wasn't in those situations, so I can't speak for it, but I'm, kind of defending the people that were and the people that, kind of write those things. And it's about, your clothes, it's about what you're wearing, it's about that kind of, is the show have more substance than just...
Oh, well, of course. No, I agree with you.
And I agree to a degree that, obviously the show's over, so I can say some of this thing, but it's there could be a more moment here or there, and I think there are, and it's all relative because some people like that, and, most of the beasties that, watch the show love that stuff, but like some people don't, like,
right.
you know, and unfortunately some of those people write the show, you know, or act in the show,
right.
And so that's just, I think the storytelling, you'd rather tell the story and the conflicts and the substance, and not have just a formulaic, because as a procedural, if you're doing a case of the week and then you kind of wrap things on the balcony or in bed with the two, you know, love interests, it kind of is, you know, a routine. There's a kind of a formula to, you know, case of the week, and then you resolve it with the discussion between the couple, and then a kissy,
right.
And then maybe some, you know, love making.
We did see Vincent and Kat get a little frisky in the locker room at his job. Was it? Yeah,
for 2 seconds.
3 minutes.
No, they fall out, like they fall out of frame.
Right.
You know, like.
But that's what I was saying. I've noticed that a lot, especially. I mean, we're only in 3 episodes, right? And I'm not saying that it needs to be like a raunchy, full out. But I'm just saying, once in a while, here and there, realistically, when you are a couple and you're a married couple, you do have that fire and that passion. And I feel like you don't see that as much, and I get that they're also very stressed out at this point in their life.
Yes.
But even like for example, at the end of this episode, where it was the end of the episode, and we ended it with, you know, that moment or whatever. It was like, blow out the candles, and that's it. And I'm like,
you want a little more, just a little more. Well, Sinead says that JT and T need a love scene.
I hate to break the news, but jeez, really? I don't want to see that. I don't think my wife wants to see it either. But she actually, I had said this before, but she was a proponent and a fan. Like, also Nina was like, you know, that would be a fun coupling, and you know, we obviously enjoy working together. And my wife was like, that would be great. That would be such a great kind of, you know, juxtaposition to Kat and Vincent, and kind of play off, and you guys could play, you know, this, you know, kind of like just the lighter side of things, and they have the romance kind of like, you know, a little more passion, i.e.
I think it's amazing that your wife is that supporting, you know, because...
Well, I just had an audition for Masters of Sex, well, actually a couple of auditions for Masters of Sex, that I had to confer with her and be like, is this okay? Because there's, you know, FYI Masters of Sex, so they give you audition scenes, and then if there's anything gratuitous, if anyone's seen that show, they have it in a lab and people do it and do stuff, and that's part of it. It's like scientific aspect of sexuality, and so really, really good show, really well done. And then there's some not gratuitous. It's what the show's about, so they have to show some sort of, you know, of that, you know, lovemaking or it's really sex, because it's, you know, just really kind of finding out about all the aspects of sexuality. Physiological. Put like, you know, stuff on people, like to get their heart rate when they're having, you know, an orgasm. So so I had these auditions, and they always give this like 3 scenes and then a 4th scene that's an FYI. You're not going to do it in the audition, but it says like, you know, partial nudity, you know, vigorous lovemaking, you know, hands on breasts, and I'm just like, here, honey, this. I send her the email with the sides, and I'm like, is that cool? And she's like, I was the one that was hesitant, more hesitant. She's like, do it. It's Masters of Sex, Emmy nominated, like, you know, like, do it. So. I mean,
that's your wife.
Yeah.
So it got me sweating again too. I'm like, God, talking about that gratuitous sex. So, you know, I'll keep you posted on that one.
All right. Well, yeah, definitely tweet that out.
Maybe see a little more of JT/Austin than you expected.
Yeah. All right, so let's just get into.
I love the cat test scenes. That's.
Yes.
In this episode.
They actually were really good. Yeah, they were really good. I really enjoyed, and it was very real as far as the, you know, the reveal of Catherine having this job that she jumped ahead.
Secret agent.
Yeah, because that's tough. You want to be really happy for your best friend, but it stings a little bit.
Bittersweet.
Especially it happens so quickly, and to find out, again, when you're on a case, you're like, what are you doing here? Well, what are you doing here? Well... And see, but that's the thing. Going back to my point about JT, how the heck do you follow that act? And you just found out your best friend sprung this news on you. Hey, I turned down my job. Like, that's also like bad timing too.
Yeah.
So
because you know, like, no time, like when the chips are down, you might as well
throw it
she's
out.
down already. You're not gonna be like, oh, I just busted the case, I just put someone in jail. I turned down tenure. Wah, wah.
Right.
What I was about to have a drink and blah, blah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had shot that scene before with Nina and Kristin, and she was like, yeah, we both dropped tears, and like it was like a very emotional scene. I'm like, great, and this scene has to follow that scene. I'm like, all right, and then like Nina just kind of like gets it all going, and I'm like, oh my god, acting with these women.
But they're amazing.
Yeah.
Speaking of
I thought it was like the way they played those scenes.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Is that kind of tension of this awkward situation, but with the depth of their history and their friendship, but then also, kind of the saying of goodbye for this part of this chapter of their professional lives.
Right.
Because you know how that works. It's like if you're working somewhere different, it might affect your friendship in real life. It's not like you have to kind of have that extra responsibility. You can't just go out for drinks after work.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a scheduling. There's a responsibility in the friendship that is now a little bit of a burden, but if it's worth it, it hangs on and you keep going.
Right.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I think they'll stay friends.
Yeah, of course, they'll keep going.
Were you gonna say something?
No, I was gonna say, speaking of amazing women, Marisha and Sinead says that your wife's a keeper, and Marisha says that your wife sounds like she's awesome.
Yeah,
So
I'm the keeper.
yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Are you watching? Are you watching at home?
This is a,
Later on tonight, it might be a conversation.
No. Well, she's definitely a keeper. I'm just hoping I'm a keeper to her.
There you go.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Nice
okay.
save.
Got it.
Nice
Nice
defense.
save.
Got it.
Thank you.
All right. Let's get back into the episode a little
Yes.
bit. We left off talking about, so we were talking about the two women together, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
But also even the fight scene, I really, really enjoyed. First of all, I loved when Vincent was giving Kat the tips. Okay, you see this? This surgery is here. It attaches to the Achilles.
These
and
tips.
Yeah. Don't hurt your face.
Yeah.
I like your face.
Yeah. The moneymaker.
Yeah. But no, she did a fantastic job. How much of that was Kristin and how much of that was somebody else?
I think the benefit with someone like Kristin that knows how to do all that stuff is, so usually when an actress doesn't really have the goods or doesn't, that she's hired, maybe like I have a friend that's, black belt in karate. Like, so, she was just in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So it's like she has those skills. So she gets hired and the benefit of it is that you could show more of the fight front on. You don't have to show the back. The only time it's someone else is like when she's taking a fall or, sometimes taking a hit, and you see her fall back. A hit, if I'm facing you and you're, Kristin, and I just swipe my foot or my hand across your face, as long as there's somewhat of a distance, it's just a timing thing. And you do it until it looks real. And you kind of go, it's just a head snap back.
Right.
Whereas if they're grappling and there's, a little wider shot, sideways or whatever, or someone gets, really hits the floor or takes a hit and you see it, it's someone else. But most of the time it's her.
That's awesome.
She's kicking ass. I love it. I love it.
And she works with some, one of the, like her stunt double that looks pretty much body-like wise like her, so that they kind of coordinate together and they work out the choreography and then they teach it to Kristin and Kristin just learns it on the spot and
nice.
Awesome. Yeah.
and just does it. They do it piece by piece, so it's not like a big
long
shot. 'Cause
Right.
that's not. It's not Creed. They don't. We don't have like the time to work on a full pan sweeping like one shot, a oneer with everyone and the whole fight in one shot.
Right. Yeah.
Which is what they did in that movie and a couple other movies, which is crazy. And it's a feat of directing. It's everyone coming together for that one shot, and the pressure's on.
Right.
TV doesn't have that time.
Right.
Sure.
So.
Well, I will say my favorite moment, though, was when she was starting to lose the fight a little bit, and as soon as Johnny started to get up and walk away, she's like, "You aren't walking away. Hold, please, while I just go whoop this girl's ass."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna pay attention.
Right.
She whooped some ass. She did. That's the motto of what I'm talking.
That's okay. All right,
Excuse
so
me.
co-host, let's see.
What are they saying up there?
Last season, Vincat supposedly learned not to rush into things, yet Vincent did by exposing himself to a rich crime lord. That he did, but yeah.
But I
They were trying to really pressure him into admitting because they really felt like he was the dude. But I will say this, it's interesting to me how, it's obviously such a secret, but there were so many instances in this episode, and I think we mentioned in the past, where they're just walking down the street and he's talking about being a beast and this and that and third. I'm like, I mean, I know that guy
is in the cage too.
Yeah, in the cage, but not even that. When they were about to enter, they were walking down the street, and there's only like an old guy there, but he paused for a second, so I thought maybe he was listening, but it was probably just a coincidental thing. Either way, I just think it's interesting that they walk down the street and talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like part of it is like with cell phone media and people filming everything and security cameras, places you don't like really see them, and like that's how they tracked the Boston bombers. It's like,
right.
There was cameras outside of stores and so like everything of that besides the race was on tape. So it's like they're going over these tapes, and so it's like that type of stuff is what we're delving into in next episode, especially with JT. It's not a spoiler, but it's like, you start to get more into the fact that
being careless.
This stuff is not necessarily in the public's eye yet, but people are starting to kind of put these pieces from all the seasons together of these moments where guy climbs a building, like in the first episode where he's like, that's on a security tape on this blogger's thing,
right?
And it's like, we got people are gonna say if it's one tape it's special effect or like some weird kind of thing, an oddity. But if it's multiple things and you start to kind of mount the evidence, then we're in trouble.
So actually, I want to ask you too, do you feel like JT is in the right for being so quick to be Vincent's right-hand man? Because that was an issue for Tess. You're always at her side. You're always at his side. This, that, and the third. And in this case too, Catherine was obviously taken away, so I feel like he's always right. But at the same time, do you think he is too involved in the mix?
Well, I mean, I think the part of the arc for JT this season, and and for people in general, is you become accustomed to your place in a relationship. You're the the provider, as it were, or the giver, and someone's the taker, and Vincent's the taker. He always needs stuff, so it's JT is there for him and has been there for him. So that's almost like you've kind of almost like solidified this relationship in your life, and that's who you are for those 10 years or 13 years, and then now you have this new relationship, and for a period of a couple months he was like, now he's just a professor and doing stuff at the school, and it doesn't feel comfortable. It's a new thing and it's not right, even though things are going well with Tess. It's okay, so who is the new JT without this someone depending on him as much as Vincent is? Even though Tess will need things from him, it's not the same. It's not working on the same muscles. He's built up all these muscles and these emotions, this emotional cohabitation. Like, what are they? There was an episode last season of like codependency. Vincent and JT was definitely codependent on Vincent for, and he still kind of is, and he feels comfortable in that, but he knows that can't be forever, so he has to find out how to suit or fill those needs or those voids in his life without doing it directly for Vincent, like by finding that in his own, his own existence, so that he could then find the new and develop a new relationship, a dynamic with Tess.
Right.
So it's it's hard, ever in you have a relationship with a friend or a boyfriend and you get out of the relationship and it's like now you're like, okay, so even though it was a bad relationship or you wanted to get out, it's like it was more normal to be, or felt better or more natural in that relationship, especially if it was like long term.
Right. Of course.
So, and you don't necessarily want to your new relationship fit into that same dynamic. You have to find the new dynamic, and it takes some time.
It does.
Yeah.
Some of our co-hosts are chiming in on how they feel about JT, and
as much as he loves Tess.
Let's Can we scroll up just a tad bit?
I will say though, just wrapping up the fight scene really quick.
Oh,
Somebody
yeah.
had made
Sorry.
a comment, and I actually noticed something in that same scene.
Yeah.
They said that, you know, it's really funny how the drug lord was all tough, but as soon as he saw Vincent, he was like, "Blah, blah, blah, blah."
Yeah.
Is it me? And I'm not trying to be mean, but it did seem like he was all tough and blah, blah, blah. And as soon as he got scared, all of a sudden an accent came out that was never there before. Did you guys notice that?
I missed that one.
I thought it was an accent the whole time, but I didn't pay that much attention.
yeah.
Like, you know, when you watch the episodes, you just kind of pay attention to your own
Yeah.
work.
Oh, yeah.
You know, to see how it came out. But or you pay attention to the other actors. But
Right.
sometimes the people that are just in for a day, it's kind of like sometimes they stand out and you're like, whoa, that guy's good or that girl's good. But sometimes you're just like, okay, so they're doing an accent, you know?
Right,
I
right.
just heard an accent. I was like, he's doing an accent. I guess Mijani is some accent.
Oh.
You know? Or
like-
some nationality, like Turkish or like,
Right.
you know, some not so Middle Eastern, but like
Right.
something like that. I don't know, Persian.
Yeah, it
knows?
sounded Indian, but I just feel like it was not there for most of the episode
Aren't
until he got really
Mijani
scared.
like dates? Like I feel like aren't there dates called Mijani dates or Meduli? I don't know.
I've never.
No idea. What were you
My
gonna?
ignorance is coming out.
Scroll up just a bit more if we can. Yeah. Okay. So basically, yep. Dolphin Tales was like, I think maybe JT might be feeling a bit insecure.
Whoa.
Okay.
Seems-
Maybe he feels like he needs this higher purpose to feel good about himself. Maybe he needs to find his confidence, and then he can be with Tess. Well, I'm still hoping that they haven't broken up because
Sinead wants to know what happened to JT's healing power. Didn't that disappear at the end of last episode?
Yeah, he got
last season.
knocked out of him by the car,
Yeah.
but then he started dying.
Yeah.
That's a
He
bummer.
had the negative effects. Of
yeah,
it.
someone said he was cured in.
It kind of peaked too
Ruth's
early.
Oh, we have a new job for you though. Wolf Cataroo says he could be a tech repair or teaching at CPUs.
Well, keep watching.
Hey.
Maybe
I do think you guys just need to come up with the Beast team squad or something, and
like Scooby Gang kind of.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Ghostbusters or something. Yeah.
Thing. I'd be the Melissa McCarthy character.
And
Would I
there
be
you go.
Melissa McCarthy or like the Egon like character? Like
Oh, yeah.
I
don't
haven't
know how
seen
to
it
say
yet.
that.
I haven't
I
seen
don't
it
know.
yet. so.
I don't know. You know what we haven't talked about though? We need to talk about is Kyle.
Kyle.
I don't trust Kyle. I do not trust Kyle.
Well, those are your
I
notes.
wrote it down.
You wrote it down.
I wrote it down. I do not trust Kyle.
Yeah, we don't trust. We
No,
don't
no.
trust Kyle.
Because first of all, let's just in real life talk about this. So you meet somebody. You do the dirty, and you could have a connection with someone. You could
Yeah.
really like them, but would you really follow them around that much? Because I have been, what?
When a guy, it's a male ego thing, and you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Wrong.
When you feel like you're dissed, like, okay, she's not, usually it's the woman that's like, well, whatever.
Right.
He probably feels like, wait, what? It could be that, but I still don't trust Kyle. I think he's
No,
up to no
I
good.
mean,
But
flowers, I'm going to keep calling you and I will not stop.
He's
and
such a
tell
stalker.
me to my face. What?
Say something.
What?
I'm not gonna say anything out of the way. I don't want to give any spoil. No,
But,
he's.
guy
I
perspective.
think Michael Rourke
Mm-hmm.
is. I think he was hired, or from what I was told, he was hired because you don't know. He gives off that sweet vibe, but at the same time,
be trusted.
there's an edge that let's just put it this way, in Hollywood, good-looking men, not necessarily a common factor where an American male could give off edgy and sweet at the same time.
True.
And so a lot of those roles go to Kiwis, Australian or British actors. And so when you find an actor that is not, kind of a pretty boy, and you want to have a romantic lead, a good-looking guy for a character, and you need that person to have some edge because it's a trust thing, and you want the audience to say, should we trust him or shouldn't we? You hire someone like that. So
I mean, he's
I
doing
think it
his
was
job.
totally
Trust him.
intentional.
Yeah.
Totally intentional.
Well, yeah.
But,
But I'm just saying, guys don't do what? I don't know. You're a guy. Guys don't do that after one time of sleeping with someone. I can understand if you've been dating for a little while, but you slept together with her once,
yeah.
and you're doing the, I will not stop. blah blah blah.
Well,
We have.
I mean,
something.
maybe
Yes.
it was like he said. It was an experience that was more than just a one night stand.
Well,
so
I get that, but after you get dissed, then eventually wouldn't you be like, okay,
ego.
not like I'm not giving up.
that
yeah.
ego.
Maybe it's that part of it that's attractive. The hunt.
What? She doesn't want me.
The hunt. The Heather hunt.
How
I
dare
guess.
she?
I guess.
I mean, Heather's beautiful too.
she
so
is.
It's like, I don't
Yeah.
trust her.
I was actually surprised. I thought Heather was going to be the one that was going to spill the beans about JT's secret. Because Heather in the
Yes.
past has been a little bit of a
Yes.
chatty Cathy. So when you came
Right.
rushing in the room and you're like, this and this and this, and she was like, wait, I'm sorry, you what? You did this? You turned down Tanner? Tess is going to kill you.
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
like, and you're going to tell Tess.
I like that. That scene was,
thought she was,
everyone loved that scene. We loved doing that, like Heather JT scene where I come in and it was kind of like this, back and forth. She's like, I'm so sexually frustrated. I don't know what she said. Someone like sexually,
Someone's getting some.
like someone. At least someone's. Did I just say that? Like she's like screaming into pillows, like yabbering on the phone, and I walk in and I'm kind of we have two different like worlds, and then we kind of crash and do kind of a Tasmanian devil, and then I run out.
Yeah.
Because she caught me basically.
You're like, "Nyeh."
Yeah. It was fun to
It's
play
al-
that kind of comic banter. We
It's
don't get
always
to
like
do
a
that.
therapy session with Heather. Like I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody Marisha brought up a good quote that says, every family has secrets, right?
What is it? Bloodline. Did you see? Do you watch Bloodline?
Uh-uh.
On Netflix. It's every family has secrets. Kind of like the tagline, or basically. I'm not selling it well, but but it's a good quote, and it's true. Every family has secrets, and they always come out.
They do. That's why you don't date when you're in this predicament.
Well, what is she supposed to do? Stay celibate?
It's
She said that in
temporary.
there.
Yeah.
It is temporary.
She is a young, hormonal, post-hormonal girl in her 20s, chomping at the bit for some action, watching her older sister get some
action.
from a beast. The least she could do is get some from a human man,
Move out and have a life in another state then.
But you know what?
She
too?
did. She tried that.
It did work.
Didn't
That's
work.
right.
Well, yeah.
You know what? Too. You know how hard it is to find a guy that you're actually attracted to, that you feel like the
Chemistry.
feelings mutual. Yeah. So it's
Within
like,
24 hours.
It's always bad timing, too, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
can't
Did you ever hear my theory? I know you watch the show sometimes.
Yeah.
I feel like I always thought her ex-fiance was going to come back and be a bad guy. What the heck?
Convinced.
Yes, you kept saying that. I'm like, that would be good. That would be
It's not
interesting.
happening.
Yeah, it's I think at certain points there's certain storylines this season, and maybe if I come back, there's after stuff happens, I could discuss what things were possible, like veer offs or storylines that start to develop early in a season, and then for one reason or another, arc wise in the arc of the season, as the story as a whole, the show as a whole, an individual arc for Heather or JT might have to just be buttoned up in one episode, as opposed to find the through line and kind of start this whole nother thing that would have done, bring this guy back in. We'll see. What'd you write down?
I don't trust him. That's really, that's what I got from that. Sorry. So yeah.
Oh no! I was talking about JT with
With Tess.
potential future storyline.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So.
Cool.
All right, well, I want to go back and see what else everybody else is saying really quick. I feel like we're slowly going to have to come to a winding down. So this is what I'm doing. I'm going to throw this at my hosts that are at home and say, if you have any questions for our special guest, tweet them in our hashtag now, and then I can bring all those up. What else did I want to talk about? We talked about... Go ahead.
Can we mention a little bit the deputy secretary? First of all, last episode he was like, I can't help you guys, figure it out on your own, just make sure you guys keep this top-notch secret. And now he's like, oh my gosh, my butt is on the line, I don't want to get skinned alive.
Here's all my resources.
Yeah.
I thought it was, I was
He don't want to die.
yeah, but I mean, you should have seen that last episode too. Whatever.
I don't know.
I don't like his attitude. But,
Yeah.
I guess he's scared for his life now, so. Yeah.
I don't know.
Everyone should be. I mean, it's a life and death situation,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Kat does mention, what if they're being, crazy and there isn't a bounty hunter on, bounty out for Vincent?
I think the sneak peek for next episode says otherwise.
Maybe, yeah.
Because why would you make that up? As a bounty hunter, why would you make that up? Just
True. $5 million, which I still think was a little low. But
I think Vincent did too.
yeah, he was offended. He was so
It was like
offended.
$5 million. What about inflation? Been around for 13 years.
right. P.S. Zelly309 wants to know why Tess doesn't just move into the gentleman's
She
club.
had some great memes, internet memes
Oh, did
tonight.
she?
Yeah,
Did
that
she?
I retweeted.
Oh. Ha! At Tess season 4 hair tweeted. Thank you for the shout out. Hashtag VATV. Hashtag.
Yeah, we gotta get her some
VATV.
followers. We gotta get her hair some followers.
That's amazing.
I would love if everyone that follows Nina Lisandrello followed her hair too, because I think it's offensive or it's an affront to her beautiful curly locks if she doesn't have equal number of followers for her
I
hair.
agree.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot of hair.
Has Nina
come
seen
on.
this yet? No, probably
No,
not.
probably
She's
not.
in bed.
But yeah, she's probably in bed. But I mean, like, she probably checks her tweets.
She's gonna wake up
I
like, "What?
tweeted, I tagged her in
Austin,
it
what?"
intentionally so she could see it and start a conversation about her hair.
That's amazing.
She loved it.
Austin, any funny moments that made season 4 memorable for you, BTS wise?
BTS wise.
Behind the scenes.
It's always like, it's such a blur. And I get this question, like, recently I got it. It's like, it's so hard because it's 4 seasons and it's, like, it goes so fast that you're just in it. You're trying to do your job.
Yeah.
And, everyone say, is there a prankster on set? If there was a prankster, he'd probably get fired because there's not time to kind of like play around. And, we're doing special effects shots, stunt shots, high dialogue, highly emotional shots scenes that you all have to do about 55 pages of, episode, or 50 or 55, 60 pages per episode in 8 days. So you're talking about 7 plus pages a day. And, movies, they shoot half of that.
Yeah.
They shoot 4 pages or 3 pages. And if it's a stunt, it's probably half a page or a page.
Right.
Of explosions and stuff. And we have a lot of explosions on the show.
Intense. Yeah.
But yeah, I think what I'll say is that they like to bring us all together, but the dialogue winds up being exposition and plot stuff. And for an actor, that likes the scenes where you have one-on-one with Kat and Tess, and JT and Tess, and Vincent and Kat, those emotional scenes, you kind of look for those and you wait for those and you have fun, the most fun with those. But sometimes you have to drudge through the plot, exposition, forward-moving, fast-talking kind of scenes. And for some of the phrases and the words we use because of the beast serum and named Bootsy Durbridge and it's sometimes tongue twisters, and some of the fun just comes in just all of us, being in the room together and having to say this shit, and it's like, it's supernatural. It's a supernatural sci-fi thing that sometimes you just can't believe that you're trying to make it real and serious. And some of the, just the way it's said, sometimes people, or Jay's accent comes out and it's like, it's funny. And, and when he gets his stuff done and he's off camera, he's just like a little mischievous,
He looks like it.
Little son of a bitch. And he just and he there was an outtake reel on the season 3 DVD, and there was a scene at the end of the wedding that we shot after 2 days of shooting in this church, the fake wedding where it gets interrupted. 2 days, we're at the last scene, the last shot, the last take of the day of this 2-day kind of marathon of getting all this stuff in the church. And it was me and Nina on camera, and Jay's behind camera just laughing, mispronouncing words, and we're like, Nina can't stop laughing, and that gets me the giggles. And we have this take, and we got a good one, and then Stuart kept wanting to do it. Like, he's like, just do one more, we'll just keep rolling, and we couldn't get the next one. We just kept doing it, and they, in the editor room, they get this 8-minute take. They think at the end of it there's going to be a good take, and
never
there
is.
isn't. There was one good take in the beginning, and then there was 3 takes or 2 takes of it just being giggles and Jay behind camera laughing and really, really not helping. And it's like the crew and the cameras are like not happy. Last shot flips around on him, 2 takes, perfect. And we're laughing still. Like we had a 5-minute, 10-minute break, 5 minutes, and he's all good, no problem, and he does it perfectly, and we're still laughing behind camera, and he doesn't break. And I'm like, that's son of a... That's the only word. Son of a word.
Yeah, throw a shoe at him or something.
Right? If we had a shoe, I'd throw it.
The other question somebody said, was it really emotional for you when you're shooting your last scene ever of the show? Last episode.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Well, it was awkward because, it's like it's awkward because it's the last day. There was going to be a cast kind of and producers dinner afterwards. They had done the cast party the Saturday before. So we're on like a Friday shooting the last scene after the cast party, and the last scene was me alone. Like, it was a scene where I was alone. So, it was a special effect thing. So I wasn't, and it was a new crew because they were shooting double crew to get the episode or the day done so they could finish on Friday. So they brought in this whole new crew. I'm shooting this last scene with no one I know.
Oh, that sucks.
And they already set the shot up. Usually you block and you kind of have an idea of, but I came in and, I had basically no leeway in what I was going to do. And it was like a highly emotional thing. And it was not my best work, but it was also like the last shot. And then this kind of like, we got it, it's done. And then the crew that was working on the other shot was the crew we've been with for the whole season, and they're like the AD, the first AD that kind of runs the show. It's kind of like, okay, and kind of, it usually is kind of a surprise, but it's not a surprise. I was done with the show. This is my last JT's last shot, and I had to wait like 5 minutes for the whole other crew to come in just to clap and say, JT Forbes, Austin, this is a wrap, and it was just kind of like, I already said goodbye to everyone and handed out my gifts, kind of everyone, gives out gifts and cards and stuff. And so here I was with a new crew, last shot, and then the old crew kind of comes in and says, oh, thanks, great. And then they have to run back and keep doing their job because there was more shots to do.
Right.
Like, I was not the last shot of the day.
Right.
I run off to the party and I'm fine. And then other people had to keep working. So that was awkward. Season 3 ended with the wedding. On the roof. Yeah. That seemed kind of like awesome. And we, at the end of it, we drank that champagne. There's a similar thing that we did, but, can't really talk about it now.
Right.
So you'll see it when you see the finale. So.
Okay. All right.
That's all.
Good story, though.
Good story.
Yeah. Okay.
It's always awkward to end,
Yeah.
even when it's just a season, because you don't know it's come back, but it's the last day. You're still doing your job. It's not like it's one thing if the wrap party was the next day and you're like, everyone's done, everyone's wrapped, and this is kind of a celebration that the job is complete, even though there's post production and stuff and picture wrap they call it. But anyway, so it's awkward.
Oh. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Okay, well, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's talk some news. How about
News.
that? Let's talk about news. All right, so we have pictures. I'm assuming, is that already up? Is that showing to everybody? If everybody is seeing this picture.
Yet.
Oh, just kidding. Just kidding. So while we wait, it was a fabulous day today. Just waiting for some pictures to post up.
Do you have predictions, or that's another part?
That's another part. They're up? Koza?
Yeah, they're up.
Oh, okay. So, BCs, I got some pictures up. This is just a reminder, because now that I have Austin Bases here, I can bring it up. I have this thing
Yes.
with Kat. Why is she always in plaid?
Always in that flannel.
Why is she always in plaid?
So
That's not sexy.
I think
Her nightgown is plaid. Like, what is
that's
going on?
the cop part of that's probably the cop part of Kat that is also like, it's a complicated issue because it's like, sometimes it's the actor's choice and sometimes it's the wardrobe's choice.
Okay.
And this was only one choice. So, and I can't really say, it's, I mean, like, I don't know who decided that, but it was a character thing, and that was the decision that was made, and that's what she wears when she's around the house for comfort. That's what cops, you know, like,
that's what they wear.
That's what not TV cops do, but it's, you know, probably like said, you know, this is a cop that wants to be comfortable. She's been in a suit or like.
But her man is fine. I'm gonna buy her some lingerie.
Well, the lingerie, yeah.
It's probably gonna be plaid tubes. Lace plaid.
Lace plaid.
Yeah. With like a little like frillies, bustier.
So I just have fun pictures that are, you know, behind the scenes pictures. I do believe this.
That's David.
It was episode
McLeod.
10.
Episode 10 of this season, or
I don't know. It just said EP 10. I thought it was this season.
Oh, that was the first episode after I shot the scene where he asked me about beasts in the lecture hall, and we were walking out. As we were walking into the lecture hall, that's actually on the campus of University of Toronto. So that was there, and I was like, Stuart, just get this shot. This is awesome. So he took the shot of me talking to the statue.
Wonderful. Okay, so this is just fan art. You guys know I always like to show a little fan art. Just
kind of looks like an old movie poster.
It does. It does.
It has that, like, you know, classic Beauty and the Beast feel.
Yep.
Yeah, so I do believe Mary said, and that was just funny.
That's been around for a while.
This is the first time I saw it was tonight, and I had to laugh. King Beastie.
Those are my old glasses. Yeah.
That's funny.
I was bored in my trailer, and I just took some like random photos. And that was my lesson not to do that, because then those photos get used for everything. And I'm just like, I was just, you know, in the first season, it was a little mismanaged because it was crazy schedule. And we would shoot 14 to 16 hour days. And I'd be in my trailer for 6 hours before working, and then start work at like 2 a.m. And that was one of those nights where I was just like,
take a picture.
I was still like, like doing all these faces, and you know, doing the kind of like photo booth thing, on my computer, not my camera. And they used that. So, that ended that habit. Yeah.
This is just fun fan art that was for you that I thought was really great. I believe Mary did that one too. Oh, and then we all know Max Brown is coming back. This familiar face.
Yeah.
Was it EP 5 that he's coming back?
I think episode 5.
So it'll be definitely interesting. This is also fan art.
I wonder how they'll like promote that episode.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's, you know, it's because the theme that we'd been talking about, which we addressed earlier in tonight's episode, as far as where's the steam and where's the hot sexiness.
That's actually hot and steamy because it's a shower.
Yeah, exactly.
Or it seems like a shower, but I think it's the light.
It's a shower. It's definitely a shower.
I think we got in trouble, I think, you know, like, because the ratings started out good, and then in the first season, they started tailing off, and they were writing the show as the show was coming out. So there was a decision made to kind of get them together early, which Brad, when he came on, was like, why'd they get together so early? But it was kind of a demand and a, you know, need for the fans because their chemistry was so good. And then 3 episodes in a row, there were like 13, 14, 15, there were these shower scenes, sex scenes, there was the kissing scene, there was the sex scene, and then like 3 episodes or 4 episodes of these kind of hot, steamy scenes. And then I think there was a little fatigue in the show and the writers and the actors for like, we can't do this like this. We cannot do this every episode.
Yeah.
You know, and it kind of lived on for a while where they were like, you know, try to get different things. But there will be exposure of different kinds later in the season.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, we can take that.
Beasties will have their fun with other photos and other
Good to know.
GIFs and all that fun stuff. So
I'm looking forward to that.
Good to know.
And it's not me, so I don't care. But be prepared.
I will say I enjoyed the tank top that had Jay Ryan shirtless going like this, and then there was flames coming out everywhere. I was like, that's amazing. And, you know, who knows? Maybe if you want to please.
Yeah,
there might be a t-shirt with you.
You got guns. Yeah.
She does. I'm like, okay.
That's not even what I was doing.
Yeah, that's why you wear the shirtless shirt.
Right.
The sleeveless shirt, so you can show off your guns.
Anyways,
throw your guns in the air.
I was trying to say that we might
Wave
have a
them like
tank
you
top.
just don't care.
You know what? I'm trying to get you a tank top. Okay?
Yeah, me a tank top?
Fans, we're trying to make
the show's done. I filmed it.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
We're gonna
it's in the can, as it were.
Somebody, Carrie Bear, are you watching? We're gonna make a tank top tank top
I
with
know.
awesome basis doing one of these with some flames or something. Just cause.
I did take we did those behind the scenes videos in the first, and we got in trouble for it because they weren't approved. But that's why we stopped doing them. But basically, I did that's right. The night when when Vincent was like, kind of all like punching the bag, laying up in bed with his like abs and no shirt and like kind of guns out there. I did the copy pose of his. JT versus Vincent, and
We should find that for next week.
Yeah.
We'll find it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, it looks like we've been talking for a whole long time, so we should probably wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining us. We had a blast with you.
You're not gonna do predictions?
Oh, just kidding.
Let's do
quick predictions.
I always want to hear your predictions
okay.
and then be here so I could like look at you.
And be like, you were wrong.
AfterBuzz TV prediction.
Well, I wasn't prepared for predictions, guys.
prediction.
Go. You have predictions.
you go first.
I don't trust Kyle. So I do think he knows what he's doing. He's gonna get a cat. What is it? Chatty Catty.
Chatty Cathy.
Chatty cat. Yeah, he's gonna get her to spill some stuff she shouldn't spill, especially under some wine. Because I know when I get some wine, I'm like this. So I think that Heather doesn't know what she's getting herself into, and Kyle is definitely there for all the wrong reasons. But you know what? He might fall in love with Heather to the point where he's like, you know what? I'm now team. No. Yeah, we don't trust Kyle. We don't trust Kyle. So.
All I do remember about that next week on Beauty and the Beast is JT looked like he was one of the men in black. So some real secret undercover stuff is about to go down. I don't know. Maybe JT will have a new job pretty soon for a secret agent situation, because that's the first time I've seen him rock something like that. Or maybe he's just going undercover. Maybe he's just, doing a little action stuff.
That's right.
himself.
He has to find his place in this world.
Exactly.
It's not, that's part of it. It's like he's not attached to Vincent or Tess.
JT's gonna take some taekwondo and 2 episodes.
Can just
from
take
now.
karate, so he doesn't get kicked in the face anymore.
Yeah.
Bootsied in the face.
Yeah, Bootsy got you. Yeah, she did. I do think also that, I hope that Tess and JT do not break up and they work out their little differences and she realized that she's being a little hard on him.
I think that'll take a few episodes. Okay. If that's the direction we're going in, I definitely think it'll take a few episodes just so us fans are like, why are you doing this, writers? And then eventually they're going to resolve their situation.
Yeah.
By episode 11, 12.
No.
Yeah, I think it'll carry it out.
That deep, huh?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What's your prediction?
What's my prediction is that fans will enjoy a majority of the rest of the episodes.
Nice.
Prediction. Yeah.
Because it's, they have things that the fans like. And, episode 5, I've said episode 4 is fun for JT, crazy for JT. And we have Steve Adelson, who's directed a couple episodes from the past. He directed that episode way back in first season where JT met Sarah. Mm-hmm. Was it called Saturn Returns?
That sounds familiar.
I don't know if it was Saturn Returns or something else, but he's back and he kind of directs with like a cinematic eye, so that the shot with JT and the suit will be a fun scene, and then other shots are kind of cool and look a little more like a film.
Nice.
He used to be a cameraman. He worked with what's his name, Christopher Nolan. And he used to work on an old show that I had, so he directs that. But episode 5 is a really fun episode for the series. Just kind of like, Max Brown's going to be on it. So you're like, how and why is Max Brown going to be on the show? So, BCs will find out.
Yeah.
One more prediction.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
One more.
Okay.
I think that DHS is bad news also. And someone else pointed that out as well. So
that's a great prediction.
Yeah.
That is a really great prediction.
let's see how that goes.
All right, so we're going to end it on that. I'm going to thank you guys so much for joining me today and the rest of our fantastic panel. Before I leave, did you forget the hashtag Awesome Basis wear a shower cap?
The Awesome Bases wear a shower cap?
Yeah. Only one person hashtagged it. I was really trying to get that to
One
trend.
person? Did they tag me in it?
You think so?
Wear a shower cap.
Yeah.
Because you wanted me to wear a shower cap?
Yeah.
For Boys in Beauty?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll wear a shower cap.
Yay!
Rubber ducky too.
Amazing.
I know. It's recorded for all time.
Yeah. So, all right. Yeah, definitely find me on YouTube, Boys and Beauty with Alikona, and I'm going to get Austin Basis on there, and he's going to wear a shower cap.
And it has to have flowers on it. It can't just be like a dull blue or yellow shower cap like Granny wears.
Flowers?
Yeah, like
kind of like the Snapchat.
Yeah, it's the Snapchat.
Yeah.
I'm like the Snapchat, and we're going down the Snapchat, like real life Snapchat.
Oh, yeah.
Snap unchat.
All right, guys, and you can follow me on all social media at Janeisha_Miss VI. You can follow me on Snapchat too at Janeisha1234. You can catch some of the snaps with this guy tonight too. So,
I know. My first. I'm no longer a Snapchat version.
There you go.
That was my first. You popped my cherry.
There we go.
But thank you. Never to be done again. Like I'm gonna be a priest, a Snapchat priest now. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at Austin Basis. You can follow me on all those, but just don't follow me in real life. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, BCs, we will see you next week. Thank you again for a great time. My face hurts because I've smiled so much.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.